A lot of people talk about Biz2Credit without really understanding what the company is really all about. So, in today's conversation, I want to really do an in depth review of this lender to give you the pros and cons, but also how to apply and successfully get approved for a maximum loan amount. Okay. So, let's first talk about what Biz2Credit really is. So, when you think about Biz2Credit, I want you to think about an online lending marketplace. So this is not a direct lender. This is an online lending marketplace that really offers small business loans. Okay, so you are looking at maybe somewhere from 25,000 all the way to $6 million. So Biz2Credit basically is kind of similar to National Business Capital (NBC), kind of similar to Lendio, kind of similar to Clarify. Okay, so those are the kinds of similarities I want you to draw. So when you think about Biz2Credit, think about 225K to $6 million to finance all kinds of operational activities. So you have term loans, you have commercial real estate loans, so the CRE loans. You have also working capital loans, and finally you have also what they call ERTC. So those are the employee retention tax credit loans, which are really sort of popular in like a couple of years ago when we had COVID. Okay, but they still have those loans anyway. So if you think about Biz2Credit, you have all kinds of possibilities. Let me talk to you about how their credit, how their loans actually works. Okay, how their loans work. So one thing I want to say here is that basically you have a very short application. I don't care if you are looking for a business term loan or a commercial real estate loan or a working capital loan or an ERTC loan. You are able to get your loan real fast. So that's really fantastic because you have the possibility to get funded real fast. Okay. Now, one thing I want to say here is that basically the how fast you can go through the application process will depend on how much you want. If you are looking for anything below $100,000, you can actually apply online without even calling them. But if you want more, then you might need to call a loan rep before you even go through the whole application process. So let's talk about the cost here. If you are thinking about Biz2Credit, what kind of cost should you be thinking about? By the way, Biz2Credit has loans where you have a no credit check. Okay, so that's kind of cool. They don't check your credit and they just go through the process and see how much you can qualify for. So basically, if you have a FICO score of 300, you can still qualify. By the way, what are the costs of Biz2Credit? Well, Biz2Credit actually charges two types of fees primarily. So you have the interest rates and the fees. But by the way, Biz2Credit itself is not charging you the interest rate, right? It's actually the partner lenders who are charging you the interest rate. But the fees are actually going to Biz2Credit because it is a loan marketplace. And so it's actually through the fees that they are actually making money. They're making money through the fees, but also through the commissions they're getting from the lenders. Okay, that's the way it looks. That's the way things work. So term loans, for instance, if you want to get a business term loan through Biz2Credit, what we have seen based on the lender profile that they have, the lender partners that they have, you have an APR that starts at 8%, and can go all the way to 36%. So from 8 to 36%. That's for a business term loan. For a CRE loan, you have an APR that goes from 10% all the way to 18%. For a working capital loan, you are looking at somewhere from 9% all the way to 27%. Although, based on our investigations and surveys of folks who got a loan through Biz2Credit, normally the interest rate is based on your sales receipt. So working capital has to do with your accounts receivable, your short-term operations. So they want to look at your sales receipt. And for ERTC loans, the interest rate is actually undisclosed. So in terms of fees, Biz2Credit also will charge you an underwriting fee between $250 and $450. And also there is an origination fee based on the loan amount. So that's something that's really good to think about, especially if you are going to go for a high loan amount. You want to know all the things that will really matter for you. through the application process. So if you want to qualify for a Biz2Credit loan, you have to understand that basically there are actually no credit check loans. In other words, there are loans where they don't check anything from anything on your FICO score. But normally, if you have a decent FICO score, you are having great chances of qualifying. Okay, like if you have a FICO score that goes from 600 to 650, that's pretty good. Sometimes based on the loan application that we have seen through Biz2Credit, lenders like partner lenders, they love it if you have been in business for a while. So let's say a year or a year and a half. So if you have been business for 2 years, even that's even better. Okay, and the more revenue you have, the better. Also, so if you have, for instance, 250,000 in revenue, that really helps big time. Okay, that's really fantastic. And one thing I want to say also is that every loan is different, right? Every loan is different, and you might have to really contact Biz2Credit to see exactly how much they're asking for it. So, what are the qualifications for the working capital loan? Let's talk about that. Well, you got to have a minimum of 6 months in business, a minimum credit score of 540, and revenue of $250,000. So this is something to really think about, especially if you are trying to get a maximum loan amount, okay, from Biz2Credit this year. And also, what about the ERTC loan qualifications? Well, you got to have a pending IRS credit of $100,000 or more, a minimum credit score of 660, and you must have been in operation since at least February 2020. That's like during the COVID, during the hard, the toughest time that we had during COVID. Okay, that's important. Now, one thing I want you to also understand here is that Biz2Credit, they actually maintain a certain database of lending histories across multiple sectors. So if you have had a loan through Biz2Credit before, and you have repaid the loan satisfactorily, and you had no problem, everything is fine, then they will give you a discount. Okay, they will negotiate a discount for you with the lender. So it's really good to build a relationship with Biz2Credit on that front. That's an important element to think about this year. So how do you apply for Biz2Credit? So if you're interested this year in getting a loan from Biz2Credit, think about first what kind of loan that you want. Okay, let me explain here. Basically, Biz2Credit offers business term loans, commercial real estate loans, working capital loans, and ERTC loans. So those are the four categories of loans that they offer. So first thing first, you want to create a business profile. So you got to really go to Biz2Credit, go to their website, and you want to really create a business profile. And this profile setup requires basic information about you and your business. So connecting your bank account to the profile helps Biz2Credit analyze your financials when making a credit decision. And in addition, you can get a discount for actually connecting your account. So connecting your account to your bank, okay? And then you have to complete the application. So once you create a profile, what happens here is that Biz2Credit will ask you to upload some documents to actually finalize the application process. Okay, let me give you an example. For instance, if you are applying for a CRE loan, you might need to include information about the property you hope to finance. For the ERTC loan, you must provide the IRS Form 941 and Form 941X for all quarters included in your ERTC filing. And next, you need to speak to a funding specialist. So speaking to a funding specialist is really important because it's going to, let's say, formalize your loan application through Biz2Credit. Okay, so you want to speak to a loan expert, so the loan expert will know whether or not you might qualify. And then after that, you just get a decision. What happens here is that basically Biz2Credit will review your application, and they'll notify you within 24 hours. Okay, And then you might need to confirm bank details if approved to ensure the money goes where it should. And finally, you just get the cash, and you can get the cash actually within the whole thing that I just spoke to you about may take 2 to 3 days if you're lucky. If you're not lucky, it might take like, let's say, 5 days maximum. So if you apply on Monday, by Friday, for instance, you can get funds in your account. So, but listen, this is still fat. This is still relatively fast anyway, though. So if you think about Biz2Credit this year, what are the advantages and disadvantages of this lending marketplace? Let's talk about that. So first thing first, one thing I want to say here is that with Biz2Credit, you have to understand that their loans offer several benefits for small business owners because this lending marketplace provides several loan types to help match you with the right funding for your business. So instead of actually going to an individual lender and applying, just apply through this marketplace and you get your loan because basically lenders are fighting for you instead of you fighting for the lenders. Okay, so that's kind of cool. And Biz2Credit actually will give you a maximum of $6 million in terms of CRE loan. Okay, you have the ability to also talk to a dedicated loan specialist. So if you are having, if you want some kind of advice through the loan process, basically, Biz2Credit can help you out. They will assign someone to you who can really help you big time. And also, signing up and applying for Biz2Credit is actually simple and quick. And also, what I want to say is that basically, you have the ability to apply no matter the business that you have. So all kinds of businesses like S corporation, C corporation, LLC, ALP, whatever. Okay, so that flexibility is really cool, really cool. So that's for the advantages. What about the disadvantages? Basically, you have to understand that they do have a short repayment window. So if you, no matter what loan you get through Biz2Credit, you do have a maximum of 26 months, which is really not a lot. Okay, but for the large commercial real estate loan, you're looking at 10 years or even longer. But for the other loans, like the term loans, the working capital loans, or even the employee retention tax credit loans, you're getting like 3 months. 3 months, 3 years. That's really nothing. Okay. You also have the fact that you have they're charging origination fees. They're charging also some administrative fees. So that's a lot of charges, really, when you think about it. So if you think about Biz2Credit this year, what are the pros and cons? What are the pluses and the minuses? So on the plus side, you have quick and easy application with a fast turnaround on approval and funding. I think I've said this before. You are looking at anywhere from 1 day all the way to 5 days, even though the average is around 2 days, which is still high anyway, especially if you are asking for $250,000 or $500,000. Okay. And one thing I want to say is that you do have a large amount available for CRE loans, 6 million. That's really cool. That's really cool. You have multiple loan options to meet your business needs. And again, if your business is, let's say, in the early stages or in the operational stage or in the venture stage or seed stage, whatever, you are able to get loan amounts that really match your operational needs. This lending place also provides actually a dedicated funding specialist. So you're able to really talk to someone, right? You're not left alone where you're trying to figure things out. That's my point. And they do accept business applications from all industries, including those quote unquote sensitive industries, such as gambling or like other industries. And also, you have competitive pricing compared to similar short-term lenders, such as LendU or such as NBC loans. Okay, so that's for the pros. The cons. On the flip side, basically, you have to remember. I think I just said it, but this is so important that you're not going to get a loan that will ask you to repay over a period of three years. except the real estate one. Okay. So one thing I want to say is that basically, Biz2Credit has business loans that are relatively more expensive than the business loan you will get at a bank or a credit union. Okay, which is or even an online lender such as Bluevine, for instance. You have higher qualification requirements than other short-term lenders. Now, the lending products might not be available in some states, so just make sure that you double check your state to make sure to see if lending club is doing business in that state because I mean lending is a state affair. So if they don't have the banking license in your state, they're not going to give loans in that state. Also, more there is more documentation and a longer process for loans over $100,000, and also on Triple B, Biz2Credit has actually a low rating. So let me give you a quick FAQ here. If you think about Biz2Credit, I just want to really reassure you that this is a legitimate lending platform. Okay, so the company has been around for nearly 20 years now, and the company is based in New York. Okay, and so one thing I want to say here is that if you accept if you sort of take out Triple B, you have like more positive reviews. I mean, really, if you go on Trustpilot or if you go on Trust Radius, you have a lot of positive reviews here. Okay, and you are able to get things done fast. People love the fact that lending that Biz2Credit will assign someone to you, so you will talk to someone. So this adds a lot in terms of the personal touch, okay, of the process. And you have to understand that you are not getting like this is not a direct lender. So because it's not a direct lender, you're not going to be you're not going to receive fast funding. That's just part of the game, actually. Now, does Biz2Credit sort of disclose the lenders? Not necessarily, not necessarily. Okay, but the cool thing is that Biz2Credit can really help you build credit, not build business credit. No, but they will help you build credit, like on the personal side, because they report your business loan account to Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. So that's kind of cool from a scalability point of view. And if for any reason Biz2Credit declines your loan request, you are able to get other types of loans at other lending institutions like SBA loans, invoice factoring, merchant cash advance, bad credit business loans, equipment financing, business line of credit, right? So you have my point is you have a lot of options. So in conclusion, let me just say that everything depends on what you need the loan for in the first place. In closing arguments, in today's conversation, I spoke to you about Biz2Credit. This was a review of the lender, and I give you what this lender is all about, what kind of loans they offer, how do you qualify, and also the pros and cons of Biz2Credit. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.